You are listening to 100 Wealth Building Secrets with James Marshall. James Marshall is a registered investment advisor and president of Marshall Wealth Management. His registered investment advisory firm is registered in Texas and Kentucky. For 30 years, he has been educating, advising, and managing wealth for diverse families all over the country. This podcast is about different concepts of wealth building, some financial, some emotional, physical, and yes, some spiritual. The bottom line is you will leave with some knowledge, and knowledge is wealth. So whether you're walking, running, exercising, or having your choice of beverages, no judgments here. Clear. Then open your mind and get ready for some life-changing financial lessons. It's your time. Here is your host, James Marshall.
Welcome, Wealth Builders, to podcast number 79. Put an expiration date on your excuses. Today we are tackling a topic that plagues us all: excuses. We've all been there. Take away your excuses, delays, and doubts, and you would be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Wanting to hit the gym, but you're too busy. Dreaming of starting that business, but not qualified enough. Or maybe you're yearning to take a dream vacation, but saving never seems possible. Excuses can be like comfortable chains, holding us back from reaching our full potential. But fear not, because today we're breaking free. Today we're discussing how to put an expiration date on those excuses. First, you have to understand your excuses. Why do you make excuses? Is it fear, self-doubt, perfectionism, lack of motivation? We'll explore this. Maybe you need to identify your excuse patterns. Do you blame time, money, energy, or something else? Recognizing your go-to excuses is the first step to overcoming them. Acknowledging a problem is the first step towards dealing with that problem. Let's talk about the missed opportunities, the cost of excuses, unfulfilled dreams, and regret that can accumulate when we let excuses win. You can't make money off stock you never buy. Next, you need strategies for crushing excuses. Challenge the voice in your head. Learn how to question and reframe your negative self-talk that fuels excuses. Set SMART goals, and by SMART I mean specific, achievable goals. Start small and celebrate progress. Big goals can be overwhelming, so break them down and acknowledge every step forward, no matter how small. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. Then you want to make sure you find an accountability partner. Share your goals with someone who will support and encourage you, keeping you on track. Make sure you choose wisely. Their job is to support and encourage you, not to commiserate. This is critical. Your financial advisor is a very effective person to use for this task. Reward yourself. Celebrate your wins, big and small, to reinforce positive behavior and stay motivated. So listen, today we are very fortunate because we have as a guest someone who I feel is well positioned to advise us on how to go about dealing with this phenomenon of excuse making. So please welcome my favorite executive coach and consultant, Tandelyn Weaver. Hello, Tandelyn. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, James. You know, I always considered it quite an honor and a delight to talk with you, giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on excuses. As a small business coach, as a life coach, transformational coach, I do hear that from time to time, and I'm going to be transparent here. I make up my excuses too, okay? I wish I could say I had this so perfectly. I never had to make up an excuse or not move forward. But we all do, you know, over the course of time, and I'm sure you might experience this from time to time. Excuses really are a cover-up for fears. And there may be different kinds of fears in people's lives. Some have a fear of success. Others have a fear of failure. Some have a fear of not being good enough. And sometimes maybe even a lack of purpose in life might be a reason for living by way of excuses. And I see that even as a manager, as a director, managing a team, when I ask someone to do something that's out of their comfort zone, then it becomes, no, 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 we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. And again, in being transparent, I don't want to fail. I don't want to make a mistake. And then behind that becomes perfectionism. Okay. So, so there are a lot of things that lead to an excuse. If you understand kind of what's deep down in your DNA, I'm afraid, and nobody wants to fail, but you can learn from failure.
Failing forward.
Fail forward, exactly. Fail forward. So if it is a fear of failure, fear of success, recognize that that is what it is. Recognize that this is what's holding you back.
And tell the truth and shame the devil, huh?
Yes, yes, absolutely. In coaching, we might call that the gremlin. You always have to name things when it's vague, when it's fuzzy. And the gremlin might be I might not feel worthy for that kind of opportunity, or I might not feel like I know enough. And so one of the solutions, you give your gremlin something to do. And that means tell the gremlin, you're not welcome right now, right here in this particular place. But all of these things have to be recognizable. Otherwise, we begin to just live by rote, and you don't even realize that the gremlin or the negative thoughts, the inner thoughts, are the ones that are controlling your behavior, your thoughts, your mannerisms. So once you recognize that there is a fear, get the inner voice to come down. All right. Now, what can I do differently? And so now we're talking about limiting beliefs versus growth beliefs. And so a limiting belief would be, I can't, I might fail, I don't know how, versus a growth belief that says, if you said I can't, you can say, but I can try. And then if the limiting belief is, oh, I'm going to fail, just as you said a moment ago, but fail forward or learn from that failure. Now, scripturally, if you don't mind my saying,
not at all.
Scripturally, it's written in the Bible, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but one of love, power, and a sound mind. A sound mind. And if you can believe and accept that he's given you a sound mind, then yes, the opportunity to succeed is there. We just have to, reframe, redefine where we are today and where we want to go, and know that there's always going to be a risk. There's always going to be risk. And as you know from being in finance, a financial advisor, that what's commensurate is a small risk gives you a small reward, and a larger risk will give you a larger reward. So if you're willing to take the risk, the reward on the other side is there. And yes, there'll be some bumps in the road, some areas where you feel totally out of the comfort zone, but you keep on going.
Keep on going and identify the opportunities and put in place an action plan towards capturing those opportunities and overcoming.
Yes. So thank you for taking it on to the vision, creating the vision. And I will tell you, I can't claim that I say that I have said this to myself. I heard somebody else say it and I grabbed it. That even after dealing with a lot of fear, this person I was listening to said she made one decision, and it was a powerful decision. She kept going back and forth. Oh, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. I might fail. Oh, people will criticize me. People won't like me. All of that stuff that all of us tend to hear in our minds. And she says, I made one powerful decision. And I had to sit back and say, okay, I like that. So, like when I got ready to start my business, tomorrow I'm going to go down to the city hall, get my new name, talk to an attorney, set up a structure, decide that this is what my budget is going to be. And you start moving forward. I didn't know where I would be 20 years later, And so, which now having clients, being an executive director, sitting on boards or chairing some boards. And 20 years ago, I would not have known that. But to make a powerful decision, just one, not 99 decisions, just one.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier. You eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Exactly.
Small, deliberate steps.
Yes. Yes. So I want to go back to your comment a minute ago about setting out your vision as well.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I find that people are misaligned from their purpose. And when the purpose becomes clearer, then the ability to make decisions to move forward and not do as many excuses begins to manifest itself. And when I say purpose, I really do mean like a divine purpose. So that if you know that you are a encourager or a teacher or if financial advising is your thing, then your purpose is to share your gift with those who are your market or who are in your space. It is also helpful to have that vision be in alignment with your purpose, with your core values. Then your ability to keep going, as we said a few minutes ago, becomes a little bit more firm in your life. You know what, I'm going to take this step. I'm going to make this call, whatever it is, I'm going to try it. And you might be surprised that it works. And then you go again to the second step. I'm going to make this call. I'm going to call for a sale. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And you find, wow, that worked. And then if something doesn't work, like, what can I learn? Oh, I should have said this, or I could have done it differently. So the third call might reflect something you learned from the previous step that didn't work.
That's the key thing.
Yes.
Well, you've really given us a lot to take in.
Is that too much?
No, this is good, just right on time. But this whole idea of imposter syndrome, don't even think they're worthy of that particular thing they're trying to get at, seems to be one of the big culprits in keeping people from reaching towards their goal or shooing away their excuses, because that excuse becomes a warm blanket for them to wrap themselves up in, when really they're suffering from imposter syndrome. What are your thoughts?
It's prevalent and it's real. Real in terms of when the opportunity to step up, go to the next level is where that imposter syndrome manifests, in my opinion, simply because somebody has recognized how talented you are. They give you an opportunity to go to the next step. And it's like, wait a minute, I don't know that I can do this because I've never done it before. And you might not have done it before, but why not take into account the 80-20 rule? Be 80% confident that that decision will work. 20% might show up where it's a bump in the road, but what if 80% of that decision works? Man, you're ahead of the game. Take the risk of going up to the next level.
Well, that someone said, if you knew you could not fail, what would you try?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, it may require that you get a little coaching so someone can help you. Mentoring. Now, there's a difference between coaching and mentoring. Mentoring is somebody who's already there or has been there and shares their advice with you. A coach may open up the opportunity for you to see what the possibilities are and then come up with a plan to match your skill base with the opportunity.
Well, Tandelyn, tell me now, if someone wants to hire you as a coach, how would they go about that? How would they reach you?
Oh, thank you for asking. Well, first of all, you can email me at coach@Tandelyn Weaver, and I'm going to spell it because my name is unusual. T as in Tony, A-N as in Nancy, D as in David, E-L-Y-N, Weaver, WEAVER.com. And so coach@TandelynWeaver.com. And I'd be happy to talk with you. Very excited about sharing what I know if it might help you. I work very well with those who are interested in small business. and particularly women who are really ready to make the next move that lives more in authenticity for them. And so I can help them get clarity on that and then create the vision for them to decide whatever their next steps are and implement those steps.
Well, Tandelyn, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. I'm greatly appreciative, and I'm sure that you have said a lot that people can use.
I hope so. Thank you so much. I enjoyed this, and may I give a plug? James is excellent at what he does. He walks in his divine purpose. I know that from two different perspectives, as a personal financial advisor for me, and then as a resource for small businesses through our Entrepreneur Learning Center. And I am forever grateful. James, you always make yourself available. I can't say enough about you and your skills and your generosity. So thank you.
Thank you. Outstanding information. I hope you guys took notes. Just remember, excuses are just mental roadblocks. With the right tools and mindset, you can break through them and break yourself free and achieve anything that you set your mind to. So take a deep breath, silence the self-doubt, and start taking action towards your dreams. You've got this. Remember, it all starts with planning. Until next time, keep building wealth. Peace.
You have been listening to 100 Wealth Building Secrets with James Marshall. Keep increasing your knowledge by going to marshallyourmoney.com and check out our educational videos, newsletters, and calculators. There you can also sign up for your free copy of his book, 100 Wealth Building Secrets. Like this podcast and follow it on podbean.com. You can also follow us on social media platforms: Facebook, Black Family Wealth, Twitter, James Marshall at Marshall Wealth, Instagram, Marshall Wealth, LinkedIn, James Marshall, and on YouTube, James Marshall Financial Educator. Email your questions or thoughts to James at marshallyourmoney.com. Thank you for listening. And remember, we build wealth one family at a time.
Money, I know you can. I teach you how to stay. Don't waste your money, but bank your money. Don't spend your ends. I teach you how to stay. Your bank account will be spilling out with them dividends. I teach you how to stay. Rule number one, if it ain't making money, it ain't making sense.